What's up, y'all? What's going on? Let me get a few more people up in here. You gotta connect to it real quick. Let me turn the screen up. Your internet working and everything?
Yep. My regular internet on the phone or the
Yeah.
house.
Now I'm talking about in the house, like the phone, everything connected.
Yeah, it's connected.
Okay. All right, let me see. Let me see how many people tuned in on it. Let's see. What's up, family? How y'all doing? What's going on? So today, pretty much, we're gonna be talking about how to use your credit as a straw man. And right now we got my uncle on, his name Jason. So like we brought Rick on, we brought Tone on, but today we're gonna bring my uncle on who also deal with credit. Him and Rick work hand in hand and everything like that. So he gonna pretty much just introduce himself. We're gonna be talking about how you can, discharge certain things off your credit, how you can remove certain things off your credit, how you can utilize it to your advantage, like getting an auto loan, taking off your credit report, getting credit cards, taking off your credit report, how you can advance yourself strictly by, utilizing the credit. So, many people find themselves in debt situations and they'll be, have to pay, for the same debt that they caused or whatever the case might be, whether it be credit card debt, whether it be, installment debt and everything like that. So you're pretty much going to learn how to take it off. Then we're going to have Tone going to come on later on and we're going to talk about, discharging debt and all that stuff, like using your consumer law and all that. So let them know like what's going on, like how you can take certain things off the credit and everything.
What's going on, everybody? So the method that me and my team use is first we start like with the 609 letters, and then we go do complaints through the CPFB. And if that's not enough, we go through the FTC. But before we even start on the credit and doing the credit, we'll have to go on your file and those numbers and names, the extra ones that's on there, we'll have to take those off first, because that's a lot of times how they verify the debt. And then they got the Nexus, Lexus, the Sage Stream, the Advance. It's about 5 or 6 of those. And other databases that keep all the extra information on you. So when you're trying to like dispute things off your credit, they'll go right through them and they'll validate the debt. So we knock all that in it, and then we go in and start our disputes. We're about a 92% success rate doing it like that.
For sure. So you can take off active accounts?
Absolutely.
So like say if a person had a credit card that was active, right? And they had like a $40,000 limit, but they burnt the whole amount out. Like say if they used up 20 now, 30,000 out of it and they wanted to be taken off their credit report, would it be one of the like the quick method?
Well, we'll do if it's something some was an accident on there and a car landed on there and they're just trying to get it up off of there, we'll go use the first 3 methods: the 609 letter, the CPFB, and the FTC method, which that would have the police report with it and everything. It's if it was something that they just seen on there and they didn't know exactly what it was. So a credit card with a $40,000 limit is not theirs, and they want to get it off of there. Them the methods that we'll use to take it up off of there. And 3 swift rounds of that. More than likely within the first, almost the second round, we pretty much get all them type of results. So we never have to go to the third round.
Okay, so what's the time limit? Like somebody got a credit card, they want to get it off their credit. How long?
It's pretty much on the person. So I say 1 to 3 months, maybe a little longer, give or take. It's on the person. We're doing a real dispute, so you can't really pinpoint it. But what we kind of guarantee is anywhere from 50 to 100-point boost within the first 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because the service that I'm actually doing, it comes with 3 trade lines that the customers are responsible for, which is $10 a month for each of them. So I normally go with 3 of them, and we put those on there, and about 1 to 3 months, you'll be up.
That's what I'm saying right there. So imagine, okay, so he, deal with the disputes. Rick also deal with the disputes in the credit. You also got Tone. He deal with consumer law. All these methods right there is plays a part with learning how to utilize your credit straw man, because the consumer law plays a bigger role, just as big as a role as disputing credit as in disputing credit plays a big role as well. Because imagine you know how to use credit all the way across the board. So it's pretty much like a game. Because once we realize that all money and everything that transact in today's society is credit, you'll understand how the credit system works. And that's why I tell a lot of people, the way to get rich in this world is through debt. And you will find out like the rich get richer by using debt. So remember earlier I made a video was talking about what people need to be doing as far as like financing and business. They need to understand how banking work. So once you understand like the banking system and everything, you will understand how the credit system work, because every bank got a criteria when they dealing with credit. One of the four main components in credit, you need to have credit age, mixed of accounts, installment credit, and revolving lines of credit. Now
That's
this is
that's another thing I want to touch on. For as
yeah,
those lines,
touch that.
the primary mortgages, the primary auto loans, the primary installment loans, and the primary revolving loans.
Okay.
They attach directly to your credit report or your business EIN, and
Yeah.
it comes with years of history and a very nice boost behind it. I've been seeing over 100 on each of those, and do have those available too.
Okay.
That extremely helped the credit or the EIN.
Okay, because now what's so crazy is right. So once they get it off their credit, a lot of people want to get the criteria where they get approved. So people want to learn about the zombie debt, how to buy old debt, how to add an auto primary. You deal with that as well.
Exactly. So the way it works, you purchase the primary that you want. We draw the paperwork up. We get the paperwork over there to you, and you can probably just go to the currency exchange, get it notarized. You're going to send each paper to each different bureau. In 30 to 45 days, the account should be on your credit. And once it hits your credit, it's going to pop up as a closed account, and you're going to see the start date, and it'll have all the years on there, so as the history and everything. And that goes for each and every last one of those up into the mortgages.
Okay.
And now, as far as like the beginning, like I was saying, when I actually do the credit, and you kind of don't have a lot of stuff on there, we're gonna place 3 trade lines on there to begin with. And if you don't have a credit card, I'll let you know exactly what security card to get to go with that, and it makes it a good credit mix. So that's where I'm kind of pretty much guaranteeing the 50 to 100 point jump. Alongside, we're on the back end working too. So
Okay. Okay. So how can they get in contact with you?
post my business card. My
Okay.
phone 312-420-0579. My name is Jason Williams. But I'm
Okay.
information on the video, and we'll have it down in the links too.
All right. Send me a YouTube link. Everybody subscribe to Jason, and also tell him your number again and your email.
Just post my card. I have my YouTube back up probably like a day or two.
I got you. All right. All right, for sure. All right. Okay. Anything else you want to say?
Um, I mean, we touch on a lot of things, business credit and things like that too. So we build a business credit that goes hand in hand with the personal credit.
Okay.
But wanted to get approved for a business loan or put a car in the business or something like that. So we able to file LLC or EIN and get your articles of incorporation and everything you need. I can build it all the way up for you and show exactly how to build it up within 30 to 60 days with no problem and get funded and everything. So
Okay. For sure. That's gonna work right there. Give me your number one more time, just in case they.
312 0579.
All right. Okay. Y'all hit him up. Hit him up, y'all. Subscribe to him. Start dropping a lot of content and everything like that, so people can come to your page and check this out. Because a lot of people want to learn about these consumer credit and disputes. Because a lot of people been dealing with discharge, and they've been trying to say, hey, they trying to contact the creditors with these discharge papers, and you could take it off your credit report. You
Exactly.
take the account off your
I
credit
mean,
report.
we offer if
It was
if
the whole
if
thing.
if they trying to really do their own thing, we offer the letters. We'll send them out. They got that option too. So we kind of pretty much doing everything. So we get everything together, even with the business.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, so y'all contact them. Make sure you reach out to them and everything like that. So right after this, I'm gonna have Tone hop in this, and he gonna be telling you guys about consumer law because we, got to pick up on something. So that's all you got to tell them.
For now, I'm gonna have my pamphlet ready so we can post that too. Though it'll have a lot of interesting things on there, so I have it ready in about 7 days. It'll be ready. I
Okay.
just got out with one, so I don't want to put that one out there because it's kind of old. I kind of jumped in with you through the middle, so I have a fresh one ready, and I'll
All
post that with everything I do because we haven't got enough time. We'll be talking to the mom.
right. All right.
So,
Uh, tell them your what's your phone number again? Cause somebody in the
phone
chat just
number
asked for it.
312-420-0579.
All right.
All right, Jaquan.
All right. So,
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
Anytime. Anytime. Let me
All right.
see. All right. What's up, y'all? What's up, family? We got Tone coming in too. He coming in next. We're gonna be talking about consumer law and everything like that. That's why, this whole thing worked because we've been dealing with a lot of credit people. But once we come together and use all of our heads together, we coming up with a better solution. So which way we can use this credit system, like how we can use these consumer laws to our advantage. Tone, what's up?
Peace to the guys. Y'all can hear me good?
What's going on? Yeah, we can hear you perfect now. Ain't nothing breaking up. We back in, just the second part, y'all. Like, the first time, the live got messed up and everything, man. Spit that game to us, man. Show us what we need to be doing and like how to manipulate these banks to our own advantage.
Thousand-
Legally, legally speaking. What's up? What you got for us?
Yeah, I got a lot for y'all, and it's just gonna correlate a lot what Uncle was saying as well too. And let me remind me of King's name again one more time. Is Mike?
You said what?
His name was Mike, your uncle?
No, my uncle name is Jason.
Jason. Okay, my fault.
Yeah.
So Jason, everything that Jason was stating, it correlates 100% with consumer law. Everything that Rick does, it correlates 100% as far as on the disputes. Y'all talk about going through and disputing with the secondary reporting agencies. See, what I want us to understand is there's over 330 reporting agencies outside of Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. If you guys are going to apply for rent, that's a consumer credit transaction as well too. They're asking for your social security number. Anytime you guys use your social security number, that's you guys get or your credit card is ran. And we went over this last time for those of you that have been doing the due diligence and studying. And I'm going to show you guys and remind you guys the definition of a credit card was any card, plate, or coupon book used to obtain money or services. So in essence, is your social security number. So anytime that is used as a consumer credit transaction. So once again, back to if you guys apply with rent, they're checking your rent grow consumer report. They're not so worried about your Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, but what's on your rent grow consumer report. If you guys have high insurance policies, they're checking your LexisNexis. If you have a bankruptcy that's reporting on Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, yes, your driver's license is also, your credit card as well too. It's any card. Think about any card, any plate, or any coupon. The coupon is, what they're referring to used to be, food stamps back in the day. They used to have all of your information on there, such as a social. So you guys want to go through and check these secondary reporting agencies and be able to exercise consumer laws such as the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and Truth in Lending to put these reporting agencies in place. So everything as far as with the FTC that he was stating, you guys can go through and do not only with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, but you guys can do this with all of the reporting agencies as well too. And I'm gonna show you guys where you guys can actually go ahead and do so. And this is actually my inquiry method right here, and this will delete all inquiries for you guys, your guys' selves, if you guys file this report. And upon you guys filing this report, I'm going to show you guys wherein the FCRA states that all of this information must be blocked upon receival of these 4 documents. And one of these documents is this FTC report. So as you come and click here on report identity theft, is going to take you to the Federal Trade Commission identitytheft.gov website. You guys are going to come here and you guys are going to click get started. I'm not going to run you guys through the whole thing, but I do have a video on my YouTube that you guys can go through and watch that does break down all of this as well too. You guys are going to select credit card accounts because once again, Our social is our credit card. So anything that's tied to our social, we're going to select credit cards right here. Was it to open a fraudulent account? Was it to make charges to my existing credit card account? If you guys got collections, if you guys got charge-offs, these are great to add on as well too for the FTC report. I do not, and I'm going to repeat this again. I want you guys to look at me as I state this. I do not recommend you guys doing this for late payments. Not that it won't get rid of the late payments, but I've had many mentees and clients go through and do this, and they've just closed the account, and then we had to call them and go through the whole hassle of reopening the account, and exercising our consumer rights, because really there is no such thing as a closed account. How can we have a closed account if we have an open end credit plan? And this is backed in the definition of an open end credit plan is in 15 USC 1602, which is the definition section of truth in lending. But to further go ahead and continue this, we'll go ahead and click to open up a fraudulent account, and then we'll come here and we'll add the company's information. So the first steps is we're going to add, we get up to 5 companies we can add their information. Step 2 is going to be your information. Number 3 is about the company. Number 4 is additional information. It's going to ask you about data breaches. It's going to ask you about if any information on the consumer report was incorrect, if you guys have received it. And then you guys could add 3 more inquiries on number 4. Then at number 5, let's say you guys left the dealership, because drop a 7 in the chat if you've left the dealership with 20 inquiries, with 10 plus inquiries.
Yeah.
What they do to you when this happens, and this is why I never recommend going to the dealership to get a car at all. I always tell my mentees to go through and go to the credit unions, do the plays that, Taquan's going over and he's breaking down with the Navy Fed. I remember the play that he ran through with Navy Fed on a call he did with Rick. So many 7s I see being dropped. Many of you guys have left and been hit with 10 to 20 inquiries, because what they're doing is they're using your social security number and they're putting your credit card in a pool of credit, into where these quote unquote credit, these banks, these lenders are pooling your credit. If an inquiry pops up, that's a receipt of a transaction, right? If a transaction took place, somebody got paid, right? Through this transaction, they did this transaction without a permissible purpose. And this is why it's vital to understand consumer law, because if I break down 15 USC 1681 B, that's permissible purpose of the FCRA. Let me show you guys right here. It states, in response to so any consumer reporting agency may furnish a consumer report under the following circumstances and no other. I covered this on last call, so I'm going to briefly go over this one. But number 1, it states, in response to the order of a court having jurisdiction to issue such an order, a subpoena issued in connection with proceeding before a federal grand jury, or a subpoena issued in accordance with subsection 5318 or Title 31. So basically, what this is saying in more simple words is if they have court jurisdiction, right? So they got to get an okay from the court. They got to have paperwork from the court. Or number 2, it's stated in accordance with the written instructions of the consumer to whom it relates. Of whom? Not the banks. So when Equifax and Experian and TransUnion tell you, we got verification from, Wells Fargo that we could report this information, it states very clearly they got to have permissible purpose from us, the consumer. And so us being able to break that down, they didn't receive permissible purpose from us. So they report this information without our consent. They're sharing and furnishing our information, buying and selling our information, and they're making profit off this. And then they're reporting things that are not accurate, because if we remember, or those who have done the due diligence and studied, the definition of accuracy in pursuant to Black's Law Dictionary is the value of measure. In the FCRA, I want to take you guys back to the congressional findings. This separates from the other subchapters because it's a statement of purpose. It's not a declaration of purpose. So this is what Congress found, and statement of purpose. The reason why it's just a statement is because Congress leaves it up to us, the consumer, to define what's fair and what's accurate. And that's why right within congressional findings, we talk about the banking system is dependent upon fair and accurate credit reporting. Inaccurate credit reports directly impair. Think about what it means to impair something: the efficiency of the banking system. And unfair credit reporting methods undermine the public confidence. which is essential to the continued functioning of the banking system. So I'm going to show you guys something that's going to blow your guys' mind, and then I'm going to get back on track to wrap everything back to the inquiries. Who knows what took place in 1933? Who knows what took place in 1933?
When they took gold, hold on, when they took everybody gold and silver and everything like that, the Federal Reserve.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Man, that shit
100%.
deep. Why are you going in?
Deep,
Man,
deep.
go in. Man, I like this. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. And this the Federal Reserve website right here. And this is just breaking down congressional findings alone. And that's why, like, specifically just the surface level, we don't even got to hop into all of the codes within these subchapters. If we understand the language, if and we are able to articulate ourselves, we can remove anything because they owe us, we the people. This was the fifth international bankruptcy. And yes, they took, like Taquan was saying, the gold from us. They confiscated the gold in May of 1933. So March came first with the Emergency Banking Act. And this was a week-long holiday that took place. And check this. This is talking about the legislation was aimed at restoring the public confidence. Just like I just stated within the FCRA, the public confidence in the nation's financial system after a week-long bank holiday. So now we're talking about the public. Why are we talking about this in 1933? Because if we understood that the money comes from us and that without us, there is none of these banks and nothing is circulating and no currency is flowing through these banks. If you guys know what a river bank is, there has to be a current flowing through the bank, and we are the currency, and that's why we hear money is truly just energy. And so understanding these consumer rights is truly just taking back your power and going back to the inquiries by them, reporting this is why they need permissible purpose, because we weren't aware that all of these corporations were going to be leeching off of our credit. In essence, an inquiry is a receipt of a transaction once again. So therefore, they're getting paid leeching off of our credit. Whatever the finance charges on that car, let's say you went to the dealership and applied for, whether it was a $30,000 car and the finance charge was 25,000, that the 25,000 is what all of these banks that are pulling your credit are getting paid. So whether they do business with you or not, they're getting paid. So for them getting paid, that's why you're able to not only get inquiries removed, but you're able to get 1,000 for each inquiry. And that's not what I'm stating, but that's what is stated within 15 USC 1681N. And this is where we hold them civilly liable in the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And it states any person who willfully fails to comply with any requirement imposed under the subchapter with respect to any consumer is liable to that consumer in an amount equal to the sum of. So we talk about any actual damages. So y'all can think about damages that have been done to you as you've been denied credit, damages that have been done to you, as only and that's the power of consumer law, is only you were present during this transaction, so you only know the actual damages, and the damages have been done to you, the consumer, by the consumer as a result of the failure, or anytime we see this word or, that's a status of power. That's Congress letting us know that we have power in this situation, that we have the ability to choose. Being able to choose anything is free, is allowing yourself to be free. That's freedom, right? Or damages not less than 100 and not more than 1,000. So we can get $1,000 for each inquiry as we get them removed, because deletion is admission, and that's them admitting to breaking the law. So through that FTC report and the things that they were talking, they go through and teach you guys with the disputing process, exercising consumer law on top of that, or within your description and your reports or your CFPB complaints. Now this your guys' process even be a lot quicker as well, too, or you guys will be able to do for self as well. And then we could focus on the funding plays that Taquan covers and everything and such.
Like, what's crazy is, right? So what I do, right, is teach people, the auto loan, the mortgage, and all that stuff. You guys teach the consumer law. One of the most vital parts of this whole process is teaching people how to get it off. It's easy to probably acquire it, but it's hard to get it off. So you pretty much know the method, right? We pretty much coming together, teaching people how to legally rob a bank, right? Without any you going to jail, anything, or like you will be penalized or anything like that. So we pretty much teaching people how to use a consumer law, like the consumer rights and everything like that, to acquire assets and make discharge of it using their credit, right? That
Yep.
makes sense. That's the new 1099A. So you
Yep.
can discharge a $200,000 credit card or $100,000 card. That's how you legally rob a bank. You got people out there that crack cars for $5,000, and this $1 million worth of gain. So you can't beat that. So picture this. The consumer law, right? My uncle, and Rick, they take everything off the credit report. They also know the consumer law as well. Imagine I'm reporting credit to all three credit bureaus. That's a dream team right there. That's a dream team because we all hold on, I can't hear you. You tapped out. Let me see.
The Avengers right there.
Yeah, that's like
2.0.
I report credit, the consumer law, and we got a whole rotation. Picture we got 100 people want this method. They say, Taquan, I need help getting the car. They get the car. They say, hey, Tone, I need to learn this consumer law. Hey, Rick, I need to take this off my credit report. And it's like they doing it constantly. And the bank's catching on to a lot of this stuff, but at the same time, if you meet the bank and operate off a system, it's really a system that's compiling the information and coming back with the results or whatever, because you get the full components to all credit and they approve it based upon, like, you got the installment, revolving lines of credit and everything like that. You meet the criteria, you get the product. Many people are stuck with the debt. That's the problem. So you teaching them the consumer law to get it off the credit report. Once this get taken off the credit report, the account's gone, they get more accounts. So it just operates like that. That's the new game right there, man. That's a game changer right there. That's a big game changer.
That's infinite banking at its finest.
Now, so you mean to tell me that all these people who've been writing these letters, right, like these sovereign letters, say I'm not a U.S. citizen and everything to these banks, they wasted their time?
Yeah, because a lot of, and that's why they're cracking down on that word sovereignty and all of that. We're hearing it in the news. If you
Yeah,
simply break down what Congress has laid out for us from the 60s,
yeah,
then get all of this debt disputed and removed and putting them in place. The cops are no different, are also debt collectors themselves. And I'll show you guys out here to back everything that I'm stating as well too. But man, every single one, the IRS, all of them, anybody that's attempted to collect any debt from us, they are a debt collector, and you can in fact hold them liable within the FDCPA. Because in Deuteronomy 15, like I said, I've seen some people in the comment talk about nobody is loaning us anything. I
no,
want you guys to find the term loan within the FDCPA in a subchapter that specifically deals with debt. Don't you think they would have the term loan or borrower
mm,
defined? But they don't. But the thing is, and y'all can back that up in 15 USC 1692A. That's the definition section for the FDCPA. And nowhere in there will you find the term borrower. Nowhere in there will you find the term loan, because these are fictitious, made up terms to deceive us into agree to their contracts, and then through as we have agreed through their contracts, now we're obliged, and now we become an obligor into making the payments through the contract. And that's why they're supposed to give us rescission forms, and that's why we're able to exercise our right to rescind, because the in case of the misuse of our credit, and this has been going on for since the 30s, and this is why they came out with these acts and subchapters in 1962. Specifically, is when JFK, I believe, had passed the Consumer Protection Act of 1962. 1963, he got by the Federal Reserve. He was gone. MLK was actually teaching our people and how to get reparations through consumer law. And he was actually breaking down a lot of these subchapters specifically, and the names of these subchapters really tell you everything itself. Truth in lending. Somebody was not being truthful while lending. Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Through them attempting to collect debt, somebody's not being fair. You know,
man.
he's not being fair while reporting credit, Fair Credit Reporting Act. So they're letting us know, and it's right here. And if we just read congressional findings alone or the definitions and really understand these terms, that's what's going to truly allow us to free ourselves and dispute all of this debt. And that goes for any debt, a lien, bankruptcy to an eviction, a student loan, a repo, anything. And that's why that's where the true power of you guys going to do the work for self. You guys continuing to show up on these lives when Rick, when James, when Taquan, when all of us are alive on here giving game, you guys are continuing to show up for ourselves, and not only showing up for ourselves, but what are you doing outside of this? Are you guys going and are you studying? Are you reading the books? Go get a hard copy of this, and following all of our pages, our YouTubes, and everything, staying in contact with us, setting up my free 15-minute calls with me into where, well, you have studied, you can get on a call with me. We can, talk and have a high level conversation because now you've done the inner work for self. So the true power comes with you guys being able to fish for self. It's one thing if I fish for y'all, but it's another thing if I teach y'all how to fish, because then I'm gonna feed y'all for a lifetime. And that's where the true power and freedom comes, because there's levels to everything. In a year from now, all of us ain't really gonna be here sitting talking about deletions heavy, because we're gonna have a whole community of people, 100 plus people, in which we've already gotten their consumer report right, and where you guys can learn from a lot of them because of the things we've taught them. But we're gonna be focusing on funding, acquiring the half a ticket to $1 million of funding, because of we've already acquired all this debt, in which everything Taquan teaches through the EIN and all these other things. So, right now, definitely it's time to take action. Y'all here for a reason. Y'all watching this, replay, recording for a reason. So now the biggest thing is taking action on all this information, getting plugged in. If you do have something negative with either me, James, or Rick, and we're gonna get you guys situated and then get you guys in the right, position to where you guys can go acquire that funding with Taquan, and now we could, do things and start having even higher level conversations.
Yeah. Look, this is what we need to do, right? I'm thinking about setting up a system where we all, like, either put the people on Zoom, but we also got a system that we set up manually to put people, through this process to teach them. Because a lot of people are not going to get this just on one quick video. We need to set up a Zoom class, so we need to put in the work.
Yep.
So a lot of people need to tap into their credit report, see their account, see what's on there, see how much they owe, and you hit them with the consumer law into what they need to set up. And Rick also set up the dispute letters, and everybody send their stuff in, and it can get done like that. Set up a good system so people can get stuff removed. You feel me? So this is powerful, bro, because you know this stuff, and we got a full system that we can be operating from to make sure that y'all get this type of message, so we can push this type of information out. And also, a lot of you guys who don't understand the information, just take your time and everything like that. But we gonna set up a system, bro, to really get this stuff going. This stuff is powerful. This ain't like no average stuff, because people been doing this stuff for 20 years, but coming off this deep, the way you explaining it makes a lot of sense. Because pretty much you like the credit lawyer. Like, you making disputes like legally, right, through the whole congressional fairness, 15 USC. So 15 USC is like the credit Bible.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
will understand how credit works. You will understand the interpretation of wording and everything like that. You can use it to your advantage, whether you at a 500 credit score or 850 credit score. It'd be a guy who know the whole consumer law come into a dealership with 500 on his credit score and get approved for anything just because of what he know, because he become a threat to the banks and these institutions. Yeah, bro. How to legally rob a bank.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I need to get some T-shirts. How to legally rob a bank, man. Were you
Oh,
ever to Miami?
yeah, yeah. We in Miami still right now. I'm about to
Okay.
be. Yeah, I'm about to head out tomorrow. Extended.
All right. All right, for sure, bro. Rick coming in next, bro. Anything you gotta tell the people before you leave?
Yes. I mean, continue plugging in, continue showing up for yourself. 90% of success is simply just showing up. You guys are doing the majority of the part. Now it's time to take action. The other 10% is taking action. Just go back, watch the recording. Be the biggest note taker, be the biggest student. What got you guys here won't get you guys there. Understand, always have that end in and the end in mind sight. Always understand and have that long-term mentality, because once again, what got you here won't get you there. It takes constant growth. It takes you bettering yourself and just becoming the best version of yourself daily. Everything and all this information that we're teaching you guys is spiritual. It's a lot deeper than what we are taught on a materialistic level, from cars to houses to obtaining all of these things. It's obtaining your guys' life and your guys' freedom back, and your guys' ancestral, lineage, and and healing the trauma from them as well too. So it stems deep, very deep, and all of this is spiritual. So go do the work, and ain't nobody gonna do the work for you. So that's all I got for all y'all, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate you, Taquan, for having me.
Appreciate it, King. Hey, tell these people, they ask, or they keep recommending, they say what book to read. This stuff do not come from a book. This is
Yeah,
stuff you got to think about. This don't come from no book.
you know.
Like ain't no book on Amazon just explain all this in thorough detail
But
and the little credit hacks.
we got one coming this year, though, y'all. We got one coming this year, and all
Sure.
the name of it is gonna be called "Debt is an Illusion,"
Yeah.
because he is, and yeah, I mean, this stems back to talked about this on last week's or the last call. The same way that they use contracts to take the people from the original people, the Aboriginal
Thank
people, land is the same contracts that they're using in, the dealerships and with through these mortgage loans, these credit cards. So, it's vital for us to truly, go into this information. But where to start reading? 15 USC 1602. Go write down all of the definition section in Truth and Lending. I wrote down on note cards, on flashcards. And through that, I broke down the terminology of the definition section. And then I want you guys to break down and read 15 USC 1681. And this is congressional findings of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You guys can also read the definition section of that, and that's 1681A. Everything that I'm going to teach you guys is going to be within Title 15. I do go within other titles as well too, but for the purpose of you guys all being at different levels and different points of your guys' process, I want to specialize in on Title 15 with you guys. And I would love to even chop up, a weekend, beginners course with Rick and James and Taquan, and where we break down all of this, something that could even be, where we all put in the $20, $50, $100, or something
they
that
want your, they want your info, bro. Everybody want your number. What's your number, bro? Let them know your number. Hold on, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. What is
7563
what
480
say it again?
Yep, 480-584-7563. Shoot me your guys' first name, last name. Let me know where you guys had found me from. And then I'm gonna send you guys the link and where you guys can schedule a 15-minute high-level conversation with Credit Gotti, and we can break down any questions that you guys may have. I don't charge for any of these, and I won't be doing these for too much longer. And I will have these available with my business and everything, but you guys won't be able to speak directly with me, for the months to come, for free for 15 minutes. So, take
Comment,
advantage of it
comment
here.
this video. Comment under this video your number and your email, and I'm gonna pin it for everybody. Say your number again for the people.
480-584-7563.
Okay, cool, bro. Appreciate it, King. Man, we love this information. We finna have this system set up, man, so we can take this stuff off everybody credit report, and we're gonna put everybody on, man, real soon, man. Peace and love, King.
Peace and love, King. Appreciate
All right.
y'all. Yeah.
Yep. Man, it's power right here. This is power right here. This is what we're talking about. This is the type of information that we need to be, coming to YouTube with, man, to give you guys this game so y'all can know what's going on, so y'all can know how to fight the system, so y'all can take y'all advantage and y'all can take y'all credit back. We're gonna have Rick come on right now. So, Rick, whenever you're ready, I had sent you the link. So Rick is going to tell you guys about disputes and everything like that. So Credit Gotti, he really deal with like the consumer credit. Rick, he primarily deals with the dispute aspect of things. So we're gonna wait for Rick to come on. So Rick, all you gotta do is hit the link, and then I'm gonna accept it. Let me see. Just hit me up, family. If you about to go to court or whatever, just call me or something like that. My phone number is 224-463-1848. Uh, Thank you for the donation. We appreciate it. The missus. How y'all day going? How everybody going? Thank you, family. How y'all doing today? Man, this is what we need. This is the type of stuff that we need to progress with. You know, a lot of people just need to come together so we can create a system so everybody can benefit from this. I know you guys might have mortgages out there that you guys want to discharge. You might have auto loans. You might have credit card debt, personal loans. They might be garnishing your wages. That's what the EIN come in handy at. Let me see. Let's see. Appreciate it, family. Peace and love. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, family. Oh, man. I don't even know. He was supposed to come on tonight. That's what we getting a house built at in Pensacola. We getting a house built out there in Pensacola. So now look. So aside from the credit thing, right? So right now, I should be leaving to China, y'all, in like 5 days. And when I leave, you know, when I come back, we're gonna do the Amazon event where I'm gonna be showing you guys how to sell on Amazon, like what suppliers to link into, you know, and you know how to flip your money and everything like that. So that's coming up real soon. That's coming up real soon. Oh man. All right, family. I'm finna get off here tonight. You know, that was a good live. I don't know what happened to Rick. I think his phone died or something like that. So I'm finna get off here tonight, man. Peace and love, y'all. I got a whole lot of content coming soon. DMV Exposed gonna be out, and also, you know, the Amazon thing, how to show you guys how to make millions of dollars on Amazon and how to utilize your credit, all that stuff. So I'm out.